In this video, we are going to learn how to find the area and perimeter of rhombuses and kites. Let's begin. So to find the area of a rhombus, you just need to take 1/2 and you multiply that with the D1 and D2. And I'll explain what D1 and D2 is in a moment. Or you can do it this way. You can take D1 times D2 and you divide it by 2 because multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing it by 2. So what is D1 and D2? D1 stands for diagonal 1, and it is it's a line that connects one corner of the rhombus to the other corner, the opposite corner of the rhombus. And D2 is the other line. So basically, because it has 4 corners, if you run a line from one corner to the next and the other one, you'll create 2 diagonals on a rhombus. And what is a rhombus? Think of it as a square that's been kind of squished. So it's a kind of parallelogram where all the sides are congruent or equal, just like a square where all the sides are equal. The diagonals that meet inside the shape form a 90-degree or right angle. As you can see, the diagonals right here, they cross and they form a 90-degree angle. So you may be thinking, well, if a rhombus is a parallelogram, can't you just, multiply the area or find the area by multiplying the base times the height? Yes, you could. But in most rhombus questions, or just about every rhombus question, they're not going to give you the height. For example, this diagonal or this diagonal right there, that's not the height. The height is when you draw a line from one side to the opposite side and it forms a 90-degree angle. So whenever you see a rhombus question, you'll know because they'll have diagonals in it instead of, a base with a line drawn for the height. Anyhow, let's look at the area of a kite. The area of a kite is 1/2 times D1 times D2, and that's it. Or you can do D1 times T2 divided by 2. It is exactly the same formula as the area of a rhombus, and D1 right here is this to that, and D2 is from this corner to that corner. Now, does it matter which one is D1 and D2 for either of these? No, not really. Not at all, actually. It doesn't matter if you accidentally wrote this as D2 or D1 and this is D2. It doesn't matter which one the D1 and D2 is. A kite is a quadrilateral, a 4-sided figure with 2 pairs of sides that are congruent. So congruent just means the side lengths are equal, or the lengths are equal. So unlike a parallelogram, the congruent sides are adjacent or touching each other. So with a parallelogram, you do have 2 congruent sides that are opposite of each other. But in this case, with a kite, the 2 congruent sides, the 2 equal sides are next to each other. So they're touching each other. Like this is equal to that, and this side is equal to this side right here. And like a rhombus, the diagonals that meet inside of a kite form a 90-degree or right angle. All right, let's get to some examples. Draw and label the polygon, then find the area. A rhombus has diagonals with the length of 4 centimeters and 10 centimeters. 4 centimeters and 10 centimeters. Here is my rhombus. Basically, draw a diamond, draw some diagonals in there. Here's my formula, but 4 centimeters and 10 centimeters. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, this does not look like 10 centimeters. That should be twice the length of this one. But you know what? You're drawing your own picture. It doesn't matter. I don't even know if this is possible, but it's okay. It's just an example. So 4 centimeters and 10 centimeters is our diamond, our rhombus. Let's fill in our information to find the area. Area equals 1/2, which I'm just going to use 0.5. And then D1 is going to be 4 and D2 is 10. Now, like I said before, 4 and 10, 10 and 4, it doesn't matter what order you multiply because when you multiply, order doesn't matter. So what you can do is just in your calculator, 0.5 times 4 times 10, and you're going to get the answer. The other way you can do this is to do 4 times 10 and then over 2, which means divided by 2. So if you multiply 4 times 10 and divide it by 2, or you multiply 0.5 times 4 times 10, you're going to get the same answer. It's going to be 20. So we do need to include units to find the area when we're talking about area. 20 what? Are we talking about 20 inches, 20 feet? We are talking about 20 centimeters. Now, area is measured in square units, so you do need to write centimeters squared. So our answer is 20 centimeters squared, or 20 square centimeters. Let's do the next example. A kite has diagonals with the length of 15 and 10 inches. Let's go ahead and draw our kite. Let's say this one is 15 inches, that one's 10 inches, and let's fill in our formula. Area equals 0.5 times D1, 15, times D2, which is 10. Again, 10, 15, 15, 10. Order doesn't matter. If you type this in your calculator or you do 15 times 10 divided by 2, you should get an answer of 75. 75 what? Well, it's we're talking about inches, so this should be inches squared because we're talking about area. So inches squared, that is our answer. Let's try another one. You can try this one, number 3. All right, go ahead and, well, I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. You can pause if you'd like. Anyhow, a rhombus has one diagonal length that is 5 feet and the other that is, or another that is 7 feet. So I'm going to draw my rhombus. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's say this is 5 feet and that's 7 feet. And so let's fill it in. 1/2, which is 0.5, D1, 5 times D2, 7. Multiply that out on your calculator. 17.5. What 17.5 feet? And it should be square feet because we're talking about area, which is measured in squares. Number 4, you can try that on your own. Pause the video if you'd like. It is tricky, as it warns you right here. So be on the lookout. Let's draw a kite. The lengths of the diagonals on a kite are 5 feet and the other is 20 inches. 5 feet and 20 inches. So you may be thinking, all right, let's put 5 there and 20 there, but that is not correct. What's so tricky about this? Well, feet and inches, you cannot just use 2 different units. You need to be using both inches or both feet. Now, do I want to turn 20 inches into feet, or do I want to turn 5 feet into inches? It's going to be easier probably to turn this 5 feet into inches because there are 12 inches in a foot. And so if you're going to multiply that, or what you're going to do is multiply 5 feet. 5 feet times 12. And that gets us 60 inches. So this is the number we're going to use. 60 inches, not 5 feet, 60 inches and 20 inches. So 60 inches, 20 inches. Let's fill out our formula. Area equals 1/2, 60 times 20. Multiply that out. You could have also done 60 times 20 divided by 2, and you would get an answer of 600. Now, is this 600 feet or 600 inches? Well, I multiplied inches, therefore our unit is in inches. Inches squared, in fact, because this is area. So that is our answer. Let's go ahead and try number 5, a different kind of question. Well, not really, because they are giving us the drawing this time. And they're giving us some extra numbers, so be careful. All right, so we need to find the area first. We've got one diagonal length, and this is a rhombus. That's 12 centimeters. The other one is 18 centimeters. So we're just going to do area equals 1/2 times 12 times 18. Multiply that out in your calculator, or multiply those two and divide by 2, and you should get 108 what? 108 centimeters squared. And that is going to be our area. Now, they also want us to find the perimeter. So I'm going to go forward, do the perimeter. What is perimeter? Perimeter is the distance all the way around, so the outside length. So the only important number when it comes to perimeter is this 10.8. But how can I find the perimeter if I don't know what the lengths of the other sides are? Well, if you remember, rhombuses have 4 equal sides. All the sides are congruent, which means if this is 10.8, that means this is also 10.8, and this is 10.8, and this is 10.8. And so how do you find perimeter? Well, you just add up all the sides. Or, in the case of a rhombus, you can take 10.8 times 4, because, there are 4 sides that are 10.8. Either way, no matter how you do your calculator work, you should end up with 43.2. Now, 43.2 what? Centimeters? Is it centimeters squared? No, because we're just talking about the length around. Perimeter is always measured in regular units, not units squared. So it's just 43.2 centimeters because we're not measuring the inside of anything. That needs to be measured in squared. We're just measuring the distance on the outside. All right, let's take a rhombus number 6. So 3.9 meters, that's on the outside. Well, actually, let's go back to area. So area, again, we need to multiply the diagonals. So 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. What is diagonal 1? Is it 5 or is it 5? Well, this length is 5 right here, and this length is also 5. So this diagonal is 10. So 1/2 times 10, and this diagonal right here is 6 and 6. So this is 6 and this is 6. So the total diagonal length is 12. So multiply that out. You should get 60 as your answer. 60 what? Well, 60 meters, and it is area, so 60 meters squared is our answer. Let's go ahead and do the perimeter of this one now. So to find the perimeter, we need to find the lengths of all the sides together. This is 3.9, which means this is also 3.9, and this is 3.9, and this is 3.9. So you can add up 3.9 4 times, or you could do 3.9 times 4. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter. I prefer to do this because it's faster, and the answer is 15.6. 15.6 what? Well, it's in meters, so 15.6 meters. All right, last two questions. We're going to find the area and perimeter of these kites. So to find the area, we need to multiply the two diagonals, and divide by 2. So 1/2 times diagonal 1, which is 8, and diagonal 2, which is 14, and this is the whole length it's telling us. So multiply that out in your calculator, and you end up with 56. 56 what? Well, 56 feet squared. All right, let's do the perimeter of number 7 now. Perimeter is the distance on the outside. So this is 5, and this is 11.7, but what's this side and this side? Well, if you remember, this right here is congruent to this. The adjacent sides are congruent, so 5 is, if this is, if this is 11.7, this is 11.7, and if this is 5, this is 5. So I'm just going to add up all the sides. You can't just take 5 and multiply by 4 because not all the sides are equal. So 5 plus 5 plus 11.7 plus 11.7. You add them all up, you end up with 33.4. 33.4 what? 33.4 feet. Not feet squared, just feet, because perimeter is measured in just regular singular units. Last question, number 8. A kite. Here we have a kite. Let's find the area of this kite. Area equals 1/2 d1 times d2. So this is the length of one diagonal. It's 5 plus 5, which is 10. And the other length is 10 and 3, so that's 13. So let's put that information in. 1/2 times 13 times 10. Multiply that out, and you end up with 65 inches squared because it's measured in inches. So 65 inches squared. Last thing we need to do is find the perimeter. So if this is 11.2, then this is also 11.2. And if this is 5.8, this is also 5.8. What do we do to find perimeter? That's right, you add up all the sides. 5.8 plus 5.8 plus 11.2 plus 11.2. Put it in your calculator. Add it up. You end up with 34. 34 what? 34 inches. And that's it. That is how you find the area and perimeter of rhombuses and kites. Go ahead and try some on your own. Good luck.